All right, everybody, welcome back to Coach Miller's channel here on YouTube. And today we got our first ever official Dynasty information for EA College Football 25. Now, tomorrow morning at 9:55 a.m. is their Dynasty deep dive, as well as they release a lot more information on their website. There's rumors that the press release that they're going to release is 18,000 words. It's a 6-minute video, and they just released this screenshot of a recruiting page that is going to be found in EA College Football 25. And so today I wanted to walk through it with you guys, just share my thoughts on what I see on it and what I think some people are missing. So we're going to walk from the left to the right. So left part of the screen, if you look at the bottom part of the screen, you're going to see there's going to be a team needs page, which is a button that you press, obviously, and then that's going to show you all of your team needs. So what positions you absolutely need to recruit that year. Then we're going to see some of the recruits that UCF is recruiting and some recruits that have verbally committed. So all of them are 3 stars. As you can see by some of their names, you have the star, position, are you in top 5, top 3, the interest level, have they been scouted, scholarships, and then are they coming to visit with the plain logo. And then above those 3 players there, J. Dennis, K. Maddox, and A. Pettigrew, there are 4 players that have verbally committed to UCF. Now, they are clearly denoting this is a verbal commit on purpose. What that means, I'm not sure. Maybe you still have to give some of your recruiting time to your verbal commits so you don't lose their verbal commit. I would be not the biggest fan if people could decommit from your school if it was random. If it's on purpose, like I haven't been giving them enough time, even though they're already verbally committed, so they decommit, that makes sense. Maybe you break one of the promises that you promised them for this season and then they uncommit or decommit, stuff like that. I just don't want to randomly lose a verbal commit. So hopefully they do that well. Top of the screen right here, different sections. So your recruiting board, prospect list, transfer portal, my school, and top classes. I love how all of those things are easily listed. I have an assumption that this is actually the off-season recruiting screen. They had previously mentioned that the transfer portal, you were only going to be able to recruit from the transfer portal in the off-season. So I feel like this could be an off-season screen because this person already has several commits to their school and a lot of their recruits are already fully scouted. So we've covered the bottom left-hand part of the screen. We've covered the recruit on the left-hand part of the screen, and we covered the different sections at the top. So recruiting board, prospect list, transfer portal, my school, top classes. Love that. Now we're going to move to this Alex Pettigrew player. So he's a 3-star player. He is nationally ranked 547. He's number 42 in his state, and he's number 25 at his position. So, position, tendency, class, hometown, height, weight. Top right-hand part of the screen, you can have 35 targets on your recruiting board. You get 600 hours of recruiting. Now, once again, this is either going to be per week or this is the off-season recruiting screen, and you get 600 hours for the off-season to finish off your recruiting, and then you're going to be able to give out 35 scholarships. This person has given 12 so far. So that is the player card, and then the top right-hand part of the screen. We're going to move down now to there's a clock right there. It says 35 hours out of 50, or minutes out of 50. So apparently you only get 50 minutes per recruit to divvy up. I do wonder if this is upgradable. And within your coaching tree, you're going to be able to upgrade how much time you can spend per recruit and maybe even how many hours you get in total in the off season per week, whatever. It would make sense if that's possible. Moving down to the left-hand part of the screen now at the actions. So you can add an action, and then there's the active action. So what's interesting is as of right now, it says that there's 35 out of 50 minutes being used. But if we look at the active actions, he wants to DM this player, friends and family, soft sell, and then a visit has been scheduled. Now, the visit being scheduled, once I guess you get to a certain point with the recruit, you could schedule that visit at any point in the season, and then those 40 minutes to schedule that visit would only be used once, if that makes sense. So let's just say I spend 40 minutes to schedule Alex Pettigrew's visit in week 2. Well, in week 3, maybe that active action is still there, but it's not counting towards the 50 minutes that I have to spend with this player. The only two things that could equal 35 minutes is the DMing the player and then the friends and family. So I don't know if soft sell is from last week too, or how any of that factors into those active minutes being used, but we see the active actions, all of them is DM player, friends and family, soft sell, and the visit scheduled. So you have overview, recruiting. This player is 100% scouted. I wonder if on that screen what you'll be able to see. I know in previous NCAA football games, some of the scouting had to do with their motivations, which you see on the right-hand part of the screen. You see what UCF is good at, the school grade for academic prestige, athletic facilities, and you see his 3 top things that he's interested in. I do wonder if scouting has to do with that, or if it has to do with his attributes, how quick he is. Are you going to get to see his actual overall? I know that was kind of a complaint, I would say, of some of the NCAA older games, because you literally got to know the exact overall of the recruit before he got to campus, and that's not necessarily realistic to real life. Obviously, this is a video game, and so it's fair that you know some of the person's stats before they they commit to your school. So I'm interested to see what that scouting page looked like. Right in the middle here, we have pitch and then strategy. So we have actions and then we have the pitch. So I wonder if you can select soft sell and then come to the pitch and select what pitch you want to give this player. So as you can see, student of the game is highlighted in the middle of the screen, and I believe that student of the game reflects the school's academic prestige, coach prestige, and then proximity to home, and that's why those are highlighted on the right-hand part of the screen. So in the middle here, you're going to have to select some pitches that depend on several motivations, not just one that the player has. I love that. So student of the game depends on academic prestige, coach prestige, and proximity to home. Now, this is not a bad combination. However, this player's interest, he's really only interested in coach prestige out of those 3 motivations. So you probably want to go through there and select one of the pitches that has to do with the best grades of your school, but also what the recruit has interest in. Okay, so we've walked through almost everything, but I've left one thing, or I haven't talked about one thing yet, and it's the one thing that kind of concerns me about how recruiting could work this year. So let's look at the player card again for Alex Pettigrew. Okay, 3-star. He's the 25th best left end, but then under all of those stats, right under Power Rusher, we see this bar that says top 8, top 5, and top 3. Now, EA has already come out and said that recruiting is going to be stage-based, and you're going to have to make the cutoff of these stages in order to maintain and be able to recruit the player. So you have to make the top 8 cutoff, then the top 5 cutoff, and then the top 3 cutoff. If you don't make one of these cutoffs, then the recruit's going to lock you out. What makes me nervous about this is if you look at the top 5, right at the top 5, there's that solid UCF gold color, and then right after the top 5, it kind of fades out, and it turns into more of a shallow gold. What I'm interested in seeing how this works is is that non-solid gold, that kind of faded gold right after the top 5, is that telling you the exact progress you're going to make that week by spending 35 hours on this player? Now, what I mean by that is, so the active actions once again, so DM player, friends and family, soft sell, is the bar moving as I'm adding more things to recruit this player? So as I'm adding active actions, is that bar going to actively change and show me tentatively after I sim this week if I do all these active actions where I'm going to end up on this progression bar? So how I read this is, if we do all of these active actions for Alex Pettigrew, then we're almost going to be in his top 3 by the time we sim this week or by the time we get through this stage in the offseason. Why this concerns me is it's telling you immediately what is happening for your active actions. And how this is a bad thing, I feel like this kind of takes away, or it could take away from some of the suspense that comes from recruiting, right? Like if I know, let's just say I hard sell this guy and we send the house on him, but all I have to do is add that hard sell active action to the left-hand part of the screen here, and then it's going to tell me immediately that if I do that, then tentatively next week, I'm going to be in the top 3. I don't necessarily love that. I would rather just do the hard sell and then next week come back and know that if I'm going to be in the top 3 next week, because in real life, you don't know a guarantee of your action when it comes to recruiting. I could hard sell Alex Pettigrew and not even reach his top 3 and be locked out because a different school swung in there and gave him a better pitch. So I don't want to know exactly where that progression bar is going to go once I select an action. I want to be able to sim to the next week and then see the result of the active action that I have taken for that player. So that's my only concern here from this screen is that progression bar, because there's 2 different shades of gold. That faded out gold means something. I don't know what it means, but my best guess is that it is a projection of the actions that you're going to take that week and how far it's going to get you in this player's top 3 or on this player's progression bar. I do, however, like how all of the recruits on UCF's board are 3 stars. I really think EA has done a good job this year. They will have done a good job about locking certain recruits out for certain schools. Like UCF isn't going to get many 5 stars. I think that's going to be accurately presented in this game. But also it's like they should be easily getting 2-star, 1-stars, and 3 stars. So lots to look forward to here in EA College Football 25 Dynasty. Can't wait to get our Dynasty started on the channel. Just wanted to hop on here and give us a quick rundown of this recruiting screenshot, and then tomorrow we'll be walking through the Dynasty deep dive. Can't wait. EA College Football 25 is almost here. We're 2 weeks away. We've almost made it. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it, please subscribe for more EA College Football 25 Dynasty information and series on this channel. Peace.